Now, let's get into contracts. So glad
Yes.
you brought that up. Let me just say, one of my problems here, and I'm going to say it's not really a problem because whoever can try to get over it.
Yeah.
So you have this thing and you said it so perfectly. You go to the project, you love it. Okay, sign right here. Wait. First of all, a reserve is something that's paid to take this off the market while I do my due diligence. You're going to give me a reserve agreement. And I'm not talking about let me give you $2,000 so that you give me a little slip. No, it could be a one-page reserve agreement. And that reserve agreement is going to establish that I have X amount of time to complete my due diligence. And at the end of that time, if I don't buy it, well, you could penalize about 20% of what I've paid for keeping it off the market, but you're giving me my money back.
All right now. Yes.
So a lot of these people just give me 2,000, give me 5,000, and this is non-refundable. Not
They
in
say
this
that.
country.
They say that.
That's not legal. And the other thing is, um, these contracts that developers give out, first of all, I don't care if you do have an attorney. I want an English version because documents in the Dominican Republic have to be filed in Spanish. That is the national language. But a courtesy English copy should accompany that.
That is
Even if
something
you
new.
have
Nobody mentioned that you could ask for a courtesy English copy.
of course, especially if there's not an attorney present. How do they know what they're signing?
Wow,
So,
that's good
you
stuff.
know, then the other thing is that, developers, their contracts are seller protection. It
Mm-hmm.
favors the seller.
Same in the
And
States. Same in the States. My new construction
I
contracts, they
just
are
went
poorly
back.
written, all for the seller.
I went back to one of these developers about 2 weeks ago, and I said, let me tell you something right now. I'm not even going to argue this contract with you. I'm going to file a claim with Consumer Affairs right now.
It was
That's
that bad.
exactly what I'm doing. This is not even worth me sitting here and arguing. I'm just going to go back and file a claim with Consumer Affairs for abusive clauses. You must be out of your mind.
Wow, that bad, huh?
No, I mean, okay, so listen to this. Let me give you an example. They're going to come out and say, because here, depending on where you buy, you're paying, here is by meter. In the US, they call it square footage. So here, you're like in Punta Cana, depending on where you buy, you're going to pay X amount of dollars per square meter, $35, $40 per square meter, right? That is what the price of that unit is calculated
Yes.
as.
Yes.
Now they're going to put in their contract, since most people buy pre-construction, which is a smart thing, it is, because you're going to end up paying a fraction of the cost, and by the time it gets to the final phases, you're going to get a nice return on your investment if you decide to sell it. Okay, so they're going to turn around and tell me in the contract that if after construction there's a variation in the square footage, the price stays the same. I'm like, really?
I can
Really?
tell you you're going to get an 800 square meter unit, deliver you 600, and you still gonna pay this 800 square meter
That's
price.
right. And I was like, what color is the sky in your world? Wait a minute, it gets better. Okay. They're going to turn around and say, things like, if for some reason, like if you're late in payment, if you have a monthly payment and you're late, you're going to pay a 2% penalty. But if they're late in handing over your property, yeah, they give themselves a year.
Oh wow, you have to pay attention to that. I have never had
Penalty
a new
free,
construction
penalty free.
deliver
I'm
on
like,
time.
really? So I pay 2% if I'm late, but you're good. And I'm
Wow.
paying you my money, you know?
So they get an extra year. So all these proposals, these pretty PowerPoints that we look at, it says delivery 2024, delivery 2025. The contract is going to be like they get another year on top of that.
I saw it and I was like, this is unbelievable. And the other thing is, first of all, let's talk about the force majeure clause. I love how they
Let's
spin
talk
that.
that.
I love how they spin that. Okay, force majeure is acts of God, like the pandemic.
Yep.
Okay, it is in case there's like a type of a flooding,
Yep.
An act of God type of thing. How are you gonna put in there that you're late in getting your permits?
That's not a force majeure at all.
Sure, I just said, and I'm like, oh really? You don't get your permits on time. Your third-party providers don't deliver when they should. I mean, it's just like a whole bunch
That's
of
not
things.
force majeure. That's
So
not.
they start putting things in there that I'm like, really? I'm like, no. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna
Right.
take that right on out of there because they're trying to cover themselves.
Exactly. Every way that they can. Let me ask you about developer delays. You said, most contracts they get up to an additional year for delivery. Is there
They
any
try.
recourse?
I don't provide. First of all, let me just say that in the Dominican Republic, as is the case with most countries, contract between parties becomes law. As long as it doesn't violate customs or laws of the country, whatever you agree to, that's what you're obligated to. So I never say yes. Okay. If you want to give yourself an additional year, you're cutting down the cost. Your penalty is bringing down my cost. Why?
Yes.
And how do I calculate that? If I want to put this on it as an Airbnb and I'm losing a year of rental, guess by how much that unit is coming down by?
Airbnb loss.
You're about to not get payments.
Right.
You're about to not get a last payment.